how to use a metronome to practice guitar. So, what does a metronome do? All it does is give you a click. And it will give you a click based on the beats per minute on your scale. So you might have an old clockwork one like this, you might have a digital one, but all they do is provide a steady pulse for you to practice. So using the metronome, there are lots of different ways, so let's have a look at some of them. So using the metronome to practice scales. So we're going to practice a C major scale. So it's 100 beats per minute. We're going to play one note per beat. Okay, so then there are two ways of improving your speed here. So the first one is to move this up, make it faster. Etc. And then keep going. Okay, another way of doing it, let's put this back at 100. It's okay, so back at 100 BPMs. So what we're going to do now, we're going to play one note per click. So now we're going to double our speed by playing 2 beats per click, or 2 notes per click, sorry. So that's the equivalent of playing the same thing at 200 beats per minute. Now we're going to play 3 notes per click. Now we're going to play 4 notes per click. Okay, so that's one way of using metronome. So let's say you get up to 4 beats per click. Okay, then you want to move it up. So to improve your speed, you can either move it up gradually, so let's put it up 2 notches. Now we're going to start at 1 beat per click again. So then at that same tempo, you're going to move up to 2 beats per click, 3 beats per click, 4 beats per click. So you've only moved up to 108 beats per minute. So the difficulty isn't going to be that much harder than before. So there's your 4 beats per click. So that's one way to improve your speed, is by gradually moving it up. Another way is to move the speed up a lot higher, so that you're really struggling, and then you'll eventually find a groove in that tempo, and then you can move it back down. So where are we now? Let's have a look. 132 BPMs. So that's a lot harder to play than it is at 100 or 108. So you leave it at that tempo for a while, and you play at that increased speed where you find it difficult. And make sure you use plenty of quarter notes, so you're playing 4 notes per pick. So now we've got the tempo at 132 beats per minute, so it's a lot faster. And we're going to improvise or just play around at that tempo until it becomes quite a natural tempo for us to play at. So let's have a go at that. I'm not going to be doing it for too long. You can also pick like some 4-note patterns, and you can add those into your practice, so it's harder to play it because you're playing faster. So there's an example. So I'm playing around in a C scale and at a higher tempo. So you would do that until that feels like a comfortable place to play, and then again you can give yourself an exponential movement up to, that's 160. So that's just an example. So you could move your metronome up high, so it's at a really difficult place for you to play. Play there for a while, and then you can move it back to say 145, and you'd feel comfortable. So those are the 2 ways of increasing your speed using a metronome. So increase the tempo slowly and gradually, or put in some exponential increases in speed and practice at that higher speed until it becomes a natural place for you to play at. Now let's have a look at using a metronome to improve your chord playing. So let's say you want to improve your chords and you're going to use a metronome to do it. So let's just pick a B minor 7, an A minor 7, a G major 7. Okay, so we're just going to pick those 3 chords. And you want to get faster at playing those. So in exactly the same way, you play each chord and let it hold it for 4 beats. So each 4th beat you change chord. So now again you can improve your speed by moving the tempo up. Or you can, I'll keep it at the same speed, you can change every 3 beats. Now we're going to change every 2 beats. And now we're going to change on every beat. Arpeggios, you can do that the same. Likewise, you can do exactly the same thing with a pick. So you can use your pick for your arpeggios. And then increase the speed. also have a go at doubling up, so you're going to play 2 notes per pick. Okay, using a metronome for sweep picking. So where are we at the moment? We're on 112 BPMs. So let's pick a B minor arpeggio. So we've got 14, 12, 11, 12, 10, 14. So that was 1 note per beat. Let's try 2. Let's try 3. And 4. So that's how you can use it for your sweep picking as well. Another good technique for using a metronome is to change what you're playing halfway through. So we're going to start the scale playing 1 note per beat, then we're going to play to 2 notes per beat, then 3 and then 4, but we're going to do it without stopping, so we're constantly having to change what we're doing with our right hand and left hand compared to the beat. So I'll show you. So we're going to start this with 1 note per beat, then 2 notes per beat, 3 notes per beat, 4 notes per beat. So that's a few examples of how you can use metronomes for guitar practice.